Welcome to the Leaders in Tech podcast. We talk with top CIOs, CTOs, and industry leaders to learn how they leverage technology to grow their business.
Welcome to Leaders in Tech podcast, the best business and technical podcast on the internet. I am your host, David Mancella. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, the psychology of a successful tech leader. Why do we talk about this? I truly believe that the mental health and the psychology of every leader, not only a tech leader, but every single leader, will determine their ultimate performance. Either you're going to be a high-performing leader, a mediocre, or a low-performing leader, and everything goes through your psychology. Psychology is the most important factor in order to become a very good tech leader. So, number one, what do I mean by psychology? Well, how are you handling your emotions? How are you handling your thoughts? What's going on in your mind in order to perform your job the best way possible? This is something that has been in my head for the last, especially for the last year, because I got diagnosed with ADHD about 2 months ago. I didn't know I had it all my life. And I was doing certain things in my business life, in my personal life, that was as a result of coping with this condition. Basically, it's a short attention disorder and hyperactivity disorder. That's what it is. For me, it became a superpower. And one of the reasons why I'm a very successful tech entrepreneur is because of that condition. But as a tech leader, or as an any leader specifically, as a successful leader, you really need to take care of your brain, and you need to take care of your heart. And what do I do by that? You need to think about your thinking. You need to realize that you are in power of the thoughts that are in your head. Thoughts come and go, but you have the power to have control over those thoughts. And then you also have the power to control your emotions. Now, the way it goes is this. First, the thought comes in. And after the thought comes in, it creates the emotions that you feel in your heart. The endocrine system is what creates your emotions. And everything starts in the pituitary gland, which is right in the middle of your brain. And it gets received by, the amygdala receives the information from your frontal cortex, and your amygdala is your reptile brain. Is the one that tells you fight or flight or freeze. So when you're receiving bad information or bad news, or you have large amounts of stress, your amygdala will dictate to your pituitary gland to send signal to your kidneys and start creating adrenaline and create either fight, flight, or panic. And when you are in those survival mechanism modes, you are most likely going to make mistakes with your decision making. So the very first thing that I suggest for a tech leader is to stop, analyze the situation, and then really think about your alternatives, because there's always alternatives. An emergency could be an emergency right now, and maybe in 2 days from now, it's not going to be an emergency anymore. And you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're a successful tech leader, you deal with a lot of emergencies for a lot of the times. And your job is actually to eliminate the threat and to get your team back into a successful, positive mode. But you cannot do that if you're not yourself positive. So I have been working for a long time on how to deal with my emotions and how to deal with my thinking. And I have come to realize that, my creator, God, my creator, have given me the power to actually control what I think. Therefore, I can control what I feel. Now, that doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. A lot of the times when a crisis comes to my way that I didn't expect it, for example, if something is going wrong in a project, or maybe a client is frustrated because something happened in there, and before I get into a fight or flight mode, I sit down, I go by myself for a walk, and I start processing, and I allow my emotions to go through me. I don't suppress my emotions. I allow them to go through me in a private way so that I can later on relax and then have the time to think about my thinking and realize what are my options, and there is always options. Also, you guys gotta realize that you are not alone. Being a tech leader is beautiful because you have other leaders that you collaborate with, so that you are a team. And if your leadership team is with you, then you can rely on them also to help you come up with solutions. Just one word of advice, already come with possible solutions when you talk to your other leaders, because that's what you're hired for, to provide solutions, especially when it's technology related, right? So it's not easy to do this, but a critical factor of having good mental health is also your physical health. If you're a tech leader and you're not exercising, if you're a tech leader and you don't go to the gym, you actually are not eating well, it's going to be a lot harder to have an emotional state where it's normal and is ready to take the best decisions. So you have to be very serious on what you eat, how many times do you eat, what is the best food for your system, the best food for your brain, and to exercise on a constant basis. For example, for me, and now I knew that I was actually over-exercising because it was the ADHD in me. But I bought a walking desk. I got a walking desk, and since COVID hit, I couldn't travel, I couldn't do anything. I started walking every morning, every afternoon. I started with 1 hour a day, and they ended up being 8 hours a day, which, by the way, was too much. Now I had to reduce it because I was doing about 20K a day. Now I'm working about 7 to 10K a day, which is very healthy for me. But I'm always exercising while I'm working, slow walking and working. And that allows me to have my mental health intact. Also, if you're of faith, prayer, meditation works a lot. And especially when you allow yourself to give yourself time to think about your thinking, to realize that there is always option and it's not the end of the world, whatever it is that is happening, and exercising in a regular basis. There is a lot of information on the internet on how to achieve mental health. I highly suggest that if you are having constant problems with depression or anxiety or panic attacks, that you consult to a professional, a therapist, that could actually help you with that. And I'm not joking. Having a good mental state of mind, a mental health, is going to allow you to become an excellent leader and keep growing in your corporate career. And with that, I thank you very much. God bless, and see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leaders in Tech podcast. Check in next week to keep learning how to use technology and leadership to change the game. See you next time.